Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hello, welcome again to another installment of Unveiling Africa, one beautiful face at a time. Today I have in my midst four beautiful women who just came back from the continent of Africa. Wow, what a trip travel I've heard. We're going to hear more about this wonderful, exciting trip to Africa, back to the continent, and you'll be amazed, I'm sure, by the end of it all. Won't you come on with me and enjoy this trip to a wonderful country called
Senegal.
Senegal? Before we go on to hear their wonderful stories, I'm going to introduce these beautiful ladies, starting with Miss Candy.
My name is Candace Clark. I am the mother of three and a grandmother, a proud grandmother of four. Been married to my husband now for the past 37 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That calls for a wow.
My journey to Africa, this was always my dream. And this journey was not just an experience. It was both spiritual and educational.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amelia Boyce. I'm a native Panamanian. I've been in this country since 1965, so this is my second home. And my journey to Africa was so educational, spiritual, and it is something that everyone should actually put in their bucket list.
Welcome. And
Thank you, Christine. Hello, my name is Dr. Kanika Boyce, also known as Dr. KB, and I have a concentration in mental health with a focus in children and families. So having an opportunity to go to Senegal was absolutely educational, but most importantly, it was a dream come true because I've wanted to go there since I was an undergrad. But more importantly, it was awesome to have this experience going back to the motherland and actually being roommates with my mom, who actually just introduced herself.
oh, wonderful. Nice to welcome. Nice to have you here.
My name is Norma Lewis, and a retired nurse and flight attendant. And I'm the proud founder of a group called Amigas Friends of Children. We focus on children less fortunate. To me, this trip, this journey that we ventured on to Senegal, that we decided to plant a seed, and we wanted to start with the motherland, which was Dakar. To plant a seed, helping the children less fortunate. And it was really an experience, overwhelming and spiritual to me.
Thank
And
you.
Christine, it was a joy to be there.
Thank you so much. It's a joy to have you all here talking about the motherland like no one has ever heard before. And this is why I do what I do, to bring the joy, to bring out the beauty of this wonderful continent. You've got to go there to believe, to understand what it's all about.
So true.
So without further ado, I am going to ask you all ladies, what made you decide to go to Senegal? Starting with you, starting with Emile.
Well, on a spiritual level, we decided that we would be traveling the globe to touch base with orphanage. And why not start with the motherland? We wanted to start with the motherland. If we want to visit other countries, we want to start with our land, which is the motherland.
That's so good.
And we voted and we came upon Dakar that had a lot of orphanage. So we decided to venture to go to Dakar, Senegal. And that's just the first. This was tour number one.
Wow.
There's more to come.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear
More
that.
to come.
Yeah. And Dr. Kanika.
Well, actually having a background working with different nonprofits, I thought it very important for me to also be a part of a nonprofit that culturally represents who I am. Of course, as my mom stated, I'm a first generation American,
wow.
but my strong roots are from Panama. So having the opportunity to go to be of service, most importantly, if I'm going to take that journey, particularly at this stage of my life, was very, very meaningful and important for me. And why not Senegal? From a lot that I've heard, West African culture is very different from other aspects of the continent. So it was beautiful to experience it firsthand.
Very well put. Very well put. We're going to hear more about that
Oh,
culture.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Um, it was very spiritual for me because basically when I got there and I saw the people, I was actually seeing faces that I had seen before. Their face was so familiar, and it made me feel, I can't even put it into words to know that these people that live there, they know where they come from. And I'm still trying to find out where my roots are. I know it's from Africa, but I don't know exactly where. So I feel that they are so much richer than, myself at this point. So I would definitely one day like to know exactly where I came from.
And you're gonna find out.
Oh,
You will be amazed.
I definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so important that you touched on that, because when I did also started to do this, I said, why are you doing this for me? Because, who cares about Africa? But you know what? We all care about Africa.
That's right.
We really go back to civilization.
So true.
Africa was the basis.
beginning.
Of
The
civilization.
beginning.
So why not start there? Why not go back to our roots?
That's right.
And you cannot be somebody or know where you're going unless you go back to where you came
Where
from.
you came from.
Miss
Exactly.
Candy, you're not going to be left behind. Tell us why you decided to go to Dakar, Senegal.
When I got the call telling me that Las Amigas was going to Africa, I've always wanted to travel and see a portion of the continent, no matter where it was on the continent. And I thought this would be a beginning for me. And when just arriving there, it just changed my whole personality, spiritually, educationally, and I just felt something different. And as Amelia said, it made me think about my roots and where we're from, and to want to trace that route. I came back and I spoke to my children and I started telling them of my journey. And my daughter said to me, she said, "Mom, we need to take a trip there, not just you, but as a family." I said, that's something we
That's
should
good,
think about in the future. So
I hear
that was me. And it's something that like I said to Norma, that I would love to go back. It may not be Senegal, but I want to go back to the continent.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, because there's so many parts of Africa.
Oh.
Africa is such a huge
Oh, yes.
conglomerate
Yes,
of countries. I can understand why anyone would not want to go visit this vast continent, diverse from north to south. You have all kinds of races.
And I've been to
Arabic.
other areas.
Exactly. Oh, right. Tell me about that.
I've been to Abidjan. I've
Okay.
been to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped over in Lagos.
Okay.
Not for long because I
Yeah.
was on my way to.
You've got to go. You've got to
So
go to
I
Lagos.
didn't stay long, but the most of my visit has been Abidjan
Okay.
or Ghana,
Wow.
as I explained to Dr. Katie.
Dr. Kavi, and obviously I'm going to ask the rest of you, when you first touched foot on this glorious, wonderful soil of Africa, what did you feel inside you?
Connection, and most importantly, also I would say a relief. A relief for something that you dreamed about for such a large portion of my life, particularly. Other opportunities have come, but because of the journey that I've been on with respect to graduate school, the finances didn't add up to really execute the reality of what the dream was. So to have planted it, to me, was just a feeling of gratitude that in my walk, in my life, that I've been able to see it at this stage of my life, and that I do intend to return.
I like the word return.
Return.
Intend to
Return.
return. Because
Definitely.
if you don't want to go back to where you went to, then there's something wrong. How did you feel?
Just arriving immediately humbled me. It humbled me a lot. I find that the people in Africa, they're very humble. And you're either their sister or their friend. Hi sister, hi friend. And our organization, Amigas, this meant a lot to us going there, to the motherland, to help children, because that was our main goal, to visit children less fortunate.
Okay.
And then the next thing would be to make it educational. And wow, it was an educational experience to us. It really was.
And you, Miss Amelia?
Oh, I can actually say that it was a dream come true. And in going there, just like what Norma said, it made you feel humble, but it basically made me realize where my mom got a lot of her humbleness from, because they make do with nothing, and they're willing to share
The little they
bit
have.
that they
What they
have,
have.
And that's the way how my mom basically raised me.
Good.
So I found that it was such a great experience.
Nice to hear that. What about you, Miss Candy?
Basically, what Miss Amelia here said, because basically we're all from the same place, because I'm from Panama too.
Okay.
And her mom and my mom, they were friends. So it's just as she said, we were brought up knowing that we don't have, but whatever little we have, we were always willing to share. And this is what we found there. Actually, Dr. KB and I brought back a piece of artwork. It is so beautiful. The base of it is hand, and then there's a bowl. And that's the way they share. When they eat, it's a communal eating.
Yes. There's no separation.
No separate. And the day that we arrived, we didn't sleep that day.
Whoa.
We did not sleep. We started traveling. We said, well, all right. We were so excited and we were so happy to be there that we did not sleep. First visit, as Miss Norma will tell you, was the orphanage. Oh, yes. Then we decided to just walk in the area where the hotel was, and we went into this one shop, and they were about to eat. And the man said to me, it was a huge bowl and spoons and everything, and he said, sit down and join us. And with that, I was taken back because I said, I don't know you. You know. He said, no, this is what we do. And I mean, this was food. All spoons. And everyone sat down. And we were invited to sit down with them. And I felt so good, so proud. Everything that basically we did there, tears came to your eyes because you say to yourself, my God, this is where we are from. This is where all of our humbleness comes from. Okay? But we don't know that because we were never
Told that. Yeah. You see? And this is what I do. You know, I try to bring people like you to the forefront to tell the world, you know, there's a world like this still in this lifetime of ours, you know, because everyone is so hustle bustle, me, you know, and not sharing, and it's my stuff, you know, you can, you know, oh, I can share this, you know, it's all my little banana, but they don't share a banana about 4 or 5 of us, you know, and everyone will be happy, you know. But what's your favorite food when you were there? I'm sure you all had different favorite food.
Yes, we have even clippings that will show you photos later
We'll
on at
see
some
them.
point.
Yeah,
You'll
we'll see them. Yeah.
That day that we got in, we went, what was the first meal that we had?
Oh, my favorite is Sibujen. Sibujen.
Sibujen. What's that made of?
Sibujen is actually a fish, and then it has some steamed vegetables and red rice. It's very flavorful. It's a meal that I went after every day.
Really.
You know, we talk about our food, and I told them, I said, you know, African foods, even though, yes, we do have some obese women over there, but you know, everywhere has that. But most of our foods are healthy.
Natural.
They're natural.
Natural.
They're cooked
From the earth.
Exactly. They're from the earth, and they're cooked, you know, with less introduction of, you know, chemicals and processing and all that stuff, you know. So when she just said now, she ate some fish and had some steamed vegetables. I mean, come on. And jollof rice, red rice.
Jollof rice, exactly.
And tomatoes, which is good.
I mentioned to Amelia one day while we were there, I said, Amelia, you know something? These people eat healthy. They do. They eat healthy.
They do.
The fresh veggies, the fresh. We even went to a fish village, fisherman's village, and that was an experience also. Seeing them going out, the children helping, the older folks cleaning, and it was like teamwork.
Everything communal.
Teamwork. Teamwork. Even in the fishing villages, teamwork. And here we are, as you said, this is mine, this is I do, this is the, you know. I really, when I came back, I started telling my neighbors and friends, we need to get out of that mentality that I'm not from, not only me, I'm not from Africa.
Oh, yeah.
I walk around in Senegal, and there were people that looked like me, that looked like a family member. I saw a young lady that is a split image of my niece.
Whoa.
And the ironic thing about it, my niece's name, they call her Mama. And I asked the young lady, what's your name? She said, they call me Mamita. I said, wow. And she is a split image. And I don't know the features, but the older generation in Africa, they usually would say, "Oh, you look like Senegalese. You look like this." They usually tell me that I look like
Togolese.
Togolese. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I've heard it 2, 3, 4 times.
Maybe that's where you come
So
from.
maybe,
Maybe that's where your roots come
maybe.
from. So what was your favorite food while you were there in Africa?
Exactly that red rice.
Jollof rice.
That
Jollof.
red rice. Go and try that red rice and come back and look for Norma Lewis and tell me if you don't like that red
I
rice.
like that. I like that.
Good.
Ooh, wow.
Fish was my thing.
Really?
Fish. I had fish every day. Every day. Fish. It was so fresh. So fish was definitely.
Tastes different, right?
Oh,
What
Fish
about
was
you,
my
Candy?
favorite.
Same here, fish. Yeah.
Fish.
The fishermen must have been so happy and you all coming
See,
down.
not only that, let us be honest. We were just looking at all the ladies' outfits and
Ah,
dresses.
yeah.
And
We're gonna come to that.
our head was just turning. Look at that one. Look at this one. Christine, let me tell you. Props to the African ladies.
Oh, thank you.
Props to the
Thank
African
you.
Are
ladies.
so
Graceful.
elegant.
Oh my
graceful.
goodness, nobody walked
when
like
you,
you. So
they
smooth.
did not slouch. Everyone walked and they walked with elegance. Their heads were always held high. I said, wow.
Right.
We were just looking at the attire.
It gave you a sense of pride when you saw it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, such interesting
Yes.
talk. I would want to go back to Africa if I
That's
heard
why I
these
said
old
we
ladies.
are going back.
Really, really, we are going
Well, I
back.
went to work and I basically told the younger ones, I said, listen, I said, you see how long it took me to actually get here? Just make sure and put that in your bucket list because it has to be one of your,
Things you do.
it has to be a trip that you make in your
I
lifetime.
cannot overemphasize that. You ladies
It
hit the
has
nail
to
on the
be.
head.
It has
You know?
to be.
Yeah.
And I've been many, many places, but by far, this was my best trip ever.
Exactly.
Ever.
It was mine also.
Speaking of the culture and the
We're going to come to that too. That's good. That's a nice
And
segue.
and the places that we stopped off and the places we went.
Speaking
Okay.
of the culture and the food, and you were talking about, well, what did we feel when we first got there? For me, I remember when we were first in the car driving down the highway and seeing beautiful billboards, my apologies, billboards of black faces, black features, black hair, and that was food for my soul, essentially, because living here in America, you don't realize how visually conditioned you are to not seeing any representation of who you are.
That's right.
And so those are just billboards, but when you're walking in the street and you see women, no mascara, no eyelashes, no eyeshadow, no lip gloss, no lipstick, and you're moved to say, my God, you're so beautiful. And to offer that up to the men as well who stand men of all heights, 6'2", 6'4", 6'7", and it really is a reflection of the fact that we really come from royalty. We walk in the regal fashion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's not enough that I can say about the visual representation of who we are. And we spoke about the people being so humble. But I would say to anyone who has not taken that journey yet, step foot on soil in the African continent and you will have